was telling us that black folk were one way, and God is telling us that black folk are another way. And so we had to have distinctions between what the world said we were and what God said we were. Those distinctions were critical to our survival. The world was saying that we were absolutely nothing, that we were savage, no good, that we were this, that, and the other. But God said that you are a black Messiah, only waiting to discover your inner divinity. So we had to make very strong distinctions between the counterculture and the slave culture. That was very critical to our survival in the 60s and in the 70s, but right now in the 21st century context, that world with all those boundaries is not going to work. A world with all those boundaries will not allow us to grow, to continue our mission, which is ministering to those victims of an ongoing black Holocaust. The only way we're going to do that is to break down the walls. We got to tear down whatever wall stands between us and those people that God is calling us to serve. We can't get to it. We can't reach it. If we got walls standing between us, we got to tear the walls down. And the only way those walls come tumbling down is through a radical hospitality. A radical hospitality. That means not just being cordial, not just being kind of nice, but going out of your way, going above and beyond the call of duty. What can always thinking, how can we extend what we are doing to help other folk? Not just keep it to ourselves, but trying to get the word out, trying to get the message out. What are we doing here that can help somebody else? We got to have a radical hospitality. We've always got to be thinking, how can the music ministry expand all over the world? How can the Maccabees help some young brothers? How can the sisters of the church, the brothers of the church, stand up and have an impact beyond Martin Luther King Boulevard? We've got to have a radical hospitality. That means we actually do have to like people. Oh Lord, let us pray. We have to enjoy the company of other people. We have got to, when folk walk through the doors of our church, they got to feel like they are walking into a family reunion of which they are more than welcome. They got to come in and feel like they are at home. And we've always got to be thinking, how does this affect the stranger? How is what we are doing affecting the newcomer? What can we do to make them feel more at ease? What can we do to open ourselves as a church so that we can accept their value, so we can accept their talents and their ideas? We got to do that because it's said that God brings new life into churches through new members. God brings new life into churches through new members. But if we are always stuck trying to get new folk to